go into a new computer art tutorial, and what we're going to get into today is using a tool called the sponge slash color tool. And so what this tool in our toolbar can help us do is to get rid of color in an image, or it can either add color to an image. So we can make parts more saturated and brighter, or we can pull color away. And so you can achieve this effect in a few different ways, but it's a tool here in our toolbar. So why don't we go into trying to get to know how to use it. And so I'll go ahead and create new, and we'll call this assignment emphasis, because that's really the idea is, again, we're focusing on principles of design. And so this particular approach to an image would be one way to create a point of emphasis. So just having something colored in one object in color, one part of an image, and then the rest be in black and white. So very important when you come to choosing an image here, like I've already got my image kind of queued up in my search, that you have a picture where you can tell that there is color missing from it. Okay, so this was a pretty good example, I felt like, because of how colorful the image is. If you have a very grayish, dark sort of image that you're working with already, this effect isn't really going to be that effective, really. So I'm going to copy this image from here, Google image search, and then just jump back to Pixlr, hit Command V to paste it in. As you can see, it's rather large, so I need to scale it down a bit. So I'm going to take my arrange tool here and kind of pull this so I can see the corner, and then just drag that corner and then pull this back into the center. And then drag the corner again and pull it back in the center here until I get it just about the right size. That seems like that will probably be good. Cool. We'll lose a little bit off the top, but that's okay. Not a big deal. All right, nice. Squish that in just a little bit. Cool, so now I'm ready to go. So with this image layer selected, I'll select the sponge color brush. As you can see, you have two modes, increase or decrease. We're going to want to choose decrease for this one. And then again, you could do vibrance, saturation, or temperature. And so we're going to choose saturation. I'm going to go ahead and to start out, we're going to make our brush like really big. Let's see how big. That's probably pretty good. And you want the strength to be all the way up at 100. All right. If it's not at 100, it's just going to sort of kind of take color away. It's not going to make it like black and white. So if you want it to be really black and white in your background, which is what we're going for, then you want to put that strength at 100. And to start, I'm just kind of going really big all around my subject, getting rid of color with this huge brush. And then what I'll do is just kind of make the brush smaller and maybe give it an edge that's a harder edge too. So right now it's a fuzzy faded edge, you can see, because it's kind of got this blurred sort of look going along the edges where it's kind of a glow, which is cool. And if that's kind of an effect you're trying to go for, then you could kind of utilize that. But I'd really like us to try and get a really sharp edge to our desaturation we're doing. So I'm going to go, now that I have this pretty close to my image, I'm going to turn the size of the brush back down. I'm just going to click out here to see what the size looks like. That looks pretty good. I could go a little bit smaller. So just going to drag down maybe 85, click out here, and I can see that should be pretty good to get along next to these sides. And again, for brush type this time, instead of kind of the blurry edge brush here, I'm going to go with one of these. And actually, these already have sizes here with them. So maybe 100 and a hard brush would be a good way to go. So now I could zoom in and go really close along this edge so I can get a good crisp line here. But I'm just going to start zoomed out, but I can't take my zoom tool and zoom in really close, as I may want to be really close on this edge. And you could also add color back. So you could see that I got a little bit sloppy on the edge here, so I could show you how to add the color back as well, which is pretty easy. So actually right now it defaults to increase saturation. So when I click right now, it should bring, oh, maybe it won't bring back the color because the color is gone. So if I try to bring it back now, yeah, it looks like it might not actually really work out the way I had thought, but You could always undo and then try to reapproach it again. So I'm going to go to decrease again, saturation, so that should be good. And then again, just kind of trying to go really close to this edge here and get this nice and sharp. Sometimes it's a good idea to click just like once at a time, one click at a time. That way you don't have like a whole bunch of a strip like really good, and then say you just move wrong way at the wrong second, and then you gotta like start that part all over. So this is looking pretty good along this edge. Again, I could zoom in even more, but in the interest of just kind of zooming along here and not making this video less than too long, I'm not going to get too picky about my details. As long as you guys get the general gist, then that is kind of, details is something that you can spend some more time working on with your class time. But again, yeah, just kind of zooming along here, moving around with my slider controls to kind of like get around the picture and go along these edges. So it's a little tricky. It's kind of like sometimes you have to go along an edge and then come back and click, once, twice to really kind of like get in really close. Again, if I, in the interest of not making the video too long, I could go back in with the smaller brush and really get the details really good close to the edge. And then I did kind of have a nice thing that I did with my example along the bottom edge here, where I actually made my brush really small and also desaturated this detail of kind of this branch going here. Maybe I'll make it just a tiny bit bigger than that, like 15. And so that fits within this, and so then make this little part black and white as well. So again, it just kind of like adds to the pop of the pumpkin being so vibrant in this scene. So that's probably one of the most important parts, is really just making sure you choose a good subject image where you have really nice kind of color that you can make pop out from an image, and then have the rest of the background be black and white, and really have that emphasis is the principle we are talking about. Really be drawing your eye to a really bright spot now. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this quick lesson on using the sponge color tool. So I hope you guys have fun and get a little creative. You could even use your own personal photos for something like this, rather than using Google images that come from somewhere else as well. So think about doing that. Email yourself a photo of your own, maybe that you've taken, and try out this effect with that. So hope you guys have fun and luck.